A lot of the weapon class restrictions are kind of ridiculous. After seeing the Neo-Volkite will only be available to 3 classes, it's brought to my attention how many classes are missing weapons they really should have. Like, why does Assault not have access to the plasma pistol? Okay. You know what, that's a fair one. I feel like Assault should have access to the pistols, right? It's weird that they got the Neo-Volkite, but they didn't get the plasma. Now I'm just trying to imagine an Assault on PvP with the plasma pistol. I mean, it would be pretty deadly. You're potentially getting more damage out of the plasma pistol in the air. Like, let's say you hit all your charge shots, than if you were just to slam down your hammer. Oh, no. Yeah, you would definitely... Oh, boy. Okay, I have a feeling it's about balance. But for the most part, yeah, I would like to see it, you know? And then if it's too strong, it would suck if the Assault had the plasma pistol nerfed, and then the Bulwark is kind of, like, struggling with it. Huh. Okay, the more I think about this, the more I'm starting to think weapon class restrictions are just straight up due to balance. Why does Tactical not have access to the knife? Oh, okay. And on the other hand, I would love to have the knife on Tactical. But for the most, like, the Tactical doesn't even have the power sword. It's not like I should expect the knife. I don't know. That's a good question, though. I gotta be honest. I would love to use the combat knife on Tactical. It feels unnecessary, restrictive. Okay, so already just kind of thinking about it, it doesn't really feel unnecessary. It would be really annoying if, like, for example, what I just said, if the Assault using the plasma pistol got it nerfed and then it just sucks on Bulwark because Bulwark doesn't have the same mobility. But at the same time, yeah, it does feel like there's maybe 1 or 2 weapons that feel like a missed opportunity for certain classes. Yeah, exactly, the knife with the Tactical. I mean, even giving the Bulwark the knife. That kind of looks ugly, though. Something about having a great shield and, like, a really small weapon just kind of looks ugly. But I wouldn't, you know, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't try it. I would definitely try out the combat knife on Bulwark. But yeah, then it's like, give the sniper the power sword, and that's kind of weird. I don't know. So I feel like there's a good and bad example for this, no matter where we look. So I kind of wanted to break it down to see where the community's at with this. Not saying they would ever change this, but I do like theorizing what type of class would benefit from looser class restrictions. Yeah, but that being said, it would be very annoying if a class using a weapon got it nerfed for every other class, and like those classes weren't able to break the weapon like the one class was. Like for like the Assault example. But that could be the only example. Give the Assault the sniper. Why can't he just jump up in the air and start sniping people? No, that sounds horrifying. That sounds absolutely horrifying. Okay, let's break it down. Let's see if there's truly any real reason why class restrictions are so heavily enforced. I think it's stupid the Bulwark doesn't have access to the heavy bolt pistol. I agree. Oh my god. For every, like, okay, so far I'm 2 for 1. Like, as in there's 2 examples here that I kind of enjoy, and then there's 1 example I kind of, you know, I'm skeptical of. But yes, the Bulwark with the heavy bolt pistol is a buff for the Bulwark. At least a buff to their elimination ability. That being said, I'm trying to think if it's like really game breaking, but to be honest, I think the Bulwark should have the heavy bolt pistol. Yeah, whenever I think about the Bulwark, it's like the bolt pistol kind of sucks, even though I kind of like using it because of the fire rate, but the accuracy on it is just so bad. The heavy bolt pistol is like the one where you kind of, if you hit your shots, you get really, really good damage off of it. And it also, you know, it's heavy bolt pistol, so get those headshots. Nice damage as well. But yeah, then the Bulwark does have the plasma pistol. And it's kind of like, okay, so if the Bulwark has the plasma pistol, and then the heavy has the plasma, not the heavy, the Assault. If the Assault has the heavy bolt pistol, but not the plasma pistol, then what's really holding back the Bulwark from having the heavy bolt pistol? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a tough one. That would be tough, too. It's like, in this example, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if the Assault should have the plasma, but the Bulwark should definitely have the heavy bolt pistol, so. Yeah, I don't know. It would be cool. I would definitely enjoy it. But yeah, let's say if for whatever reason the Bulwark gets the heavy bolt pistol, I mean, the trade-off is the assault should have the plasma pistol, and I can't say the plasma pistol would really do that much more damage for the assault. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if you jump in the air, you see a little group of enemies, do a nice charge attack with the plasma pistol, throw a grenade and slam down, you should have all of them. Like, honestly, they should all be taken out right there. The plasma pistol splash damage along with the splash damage with the slam, oh boy, that does sound pretty good. But yeah, I mean, is it stupid? I don't know. But yes, I would lie if I said I didn't want the heavy bolt pistol on the Bulwark. I definitely would love to try that out. Why does the assault not have access to the knife? Because it would look stupid doing a ground pound with a little baby knife. Yeah, I guess some of this stuff could be based on visuals. Yeah. Oh, okay. So somebody mentioned in the comments he meant tactical. Well, I thought it said tactical in the post originally, but for whatever reason, yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's see someone actually like kind of challenge this. Oh, here it is, bro. You gotta let Games Workshop know so they can change it. Yep. Here's an assault with the with the combat knife. Okay. Well, you got me. Well, I guess you got us. Oh, is that the axe? Is the axe right here? Ooh, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, the the assault with the combat knife. It is something that exists apparently. I hate how flip-floppy Games Workshop is through restrictions when Tactical has the heavy bolt rifle, but there's not the heavy. Oh wait, you mean the heavy should have the heavy bolt rifle? Ooh. Well, I mean they have the heavy bolter. I don't know. That could be just unnecessary. Yeah, the heavy bolter, heavy bolt rifle. I'm trying to really like imagine the heavy with the heavy bolt rifle. I can't imagine like it being that different, but if honestly, if the heavy gets any sort of mobility using the heavy bolt rifle, I would, yeah, dude. The heavy is just it's just so slow, man. If there's anything I would do with the heavy, dude, I would just take out the aiming down sight restrictions. Like if he's aiming down sight, he already has a hard time turning. Like he can't like turn a full like 360 degrees. So you essentially just need to dodge to the left or the right, try to get behind the heavy, and then he's like practically done. But yeah, like if he was able to dodge out of aim or whatever, he's still in a loop where you get countered by the same gameplay. You know what I mean? If you're aiming down the sight, you see some guy running at you, they start going to the left, you try to shoot them, they're dodging your shots, and then you roll, now they have first shot on you. So, honestly, the heavy, if we're talking about class restrictions in general, the heavy needs to be more mobile, man. The Bulwark is modeled with a heavy bolt pistol in the tabletop, but he can't have it. What? That's like the one I really, I mean, putting the heavy bolt rifle, not the heavy bolt rifle, putting the heavy pistol in the hands of the Bulwark is definitely something I want. I would also want to put the heavy bolt pistol in the hands of the Tactical, just in case, but for the most part, yeah, I would just want it on Bulwark. But hey, the Bulwark does have the Neo-Volkite now. Maybe that is a good replacement for that. They should just give up on the silly weapon restrictions for heavy bolt pistol, combat knife, and others. Ooh, okay. Okay, I see. Maybe instead of just giving a weapon to everybody, maybe pick a few weapons that don't seem to break the mold too much. And yeah, I say heavy bolt pistol, combat knife are two good options on that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. A lot of people are thinking this isn't really a Games Workshop restriction. It's more of like a Saber, like gameplay restriction. So I don't know. For the most part, yeah, like anything like the heavy bolt pistol or the combat knife, obviously maybe should be like they should have looser class restrictions. But yeah, don't give like the assault, like the sniper, you know, anything like that's kind of crazy. It's a class design thing. Tactical is the primary weapons expert, so the class decisions go into that. I mean, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. For the fact that the heavy bolt pistol, the Tactical does not have that, so They are more of a primary weapons expert. You know, that makes sense. Bulwark and Assault have their focus around their melee options, although Heavy Bolt Pistol not being on a Heavy is weird, but when I'm whatever on that. I wouldn't use it on Heavy anyways. Heavy Bolt Pistol on the Heavy. I mean, they have the Plasma Pistol. Like, the Plasma Pistol and the Heavy Bolt Pistol are very, very comparative, as in they're like, boom, they're like burst damage. The Plasma Pistol obviously has more burst damage, but the Heavy Bolt Pistol is like comparable. I don't understand. Yeah, also, I probably wouldn't use the Heavy Bolt Pistol on the Heavy anyway, also. It doesn't seem very necessary, but, you know, if it's not necessary, then it feels like just an extra weapon, just for the sake of it, so, I don't know. Yeah, again, just loosen the restrictions on, like, the Heavy Bolt Pistol and, like, the combat knife. The secret to the class design is to figure out what a class is meant to be good at, and maxing out its equipment for that goal. Okay, so... Also, something just came to mind here. That's a good point about, you know, class designs based around what the class is, like, supposed to be good with. That makes sense. But, so the Tactical has, like, a huge, you know, display of their primary weapons. You know how they have, like, 7 or whatever? And the Heavy has, like, 3. So, the way I'm going to kind of receive that information, for the most part, I think they're leaving slots up for new weapons, basically. So the Heavy has 3 weapons. I feel like that makes it easier to just give the Heavy a new weapon. You know what I mean? Rather than give the Tactical a new weapon, and now they have even more weapons on their display bar. Like, I don't know. That's the way I'm going to add a little bit of copium into this, is I believe the classes that don't have a large weapon pool, I believe it's that way specifically, so they can get more weapons into the game. Let me know in the comments if I'm cooking with that, or, you know, if that's accurate, or if you feel the same way, or if you don't feel the same way. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. I'm guessing that right now Saber is focusing on tweaking each weapon so that every one of them is a good mix between balance and fun to use. Once they've found the middle ground that the majority of the community can agree with, then they'll likely consider adding weapons to each class. I do agree that class weapons should be looked at. For example, Heavies should be able to take heavy bolt rifles. Tacticals should be able to take combat knives, heavy bolt pistols, and plasma pistols. But say, oh my god, I would love running around with the combat knife and a plasma pistol. That would be interesting. But Saber also needs to make sure that introducing these weapons to the classes doesn't break the game in some way. Otherwise, their forums and this subreddit is just going to be filled with non-stop threads complaining about how insert weapon here is for insert class here is broken. Yeah, I mean, oh, look, honestly, this is a bit of a hint of what I was just talking about, where they'll likely consider adding weapons to each class, but they have to make sure the game's balanced enough for it. I think, you know, they're definitely, as far as the way we're getting updates, it seems like they're in it for the long haul, in the sense that they are taking their time, and they're not rushing things. But if they added one weapon, and they already said they were going to add another class, yet we didn't really see any confirmation for that, I think it's a good sign for having updates further down the line. You know what I mean? So 2 years from now, they might add a new class, and it might spice up the game a bit. So who knows? Who knows? I think they gave themselves enough room for really good updates here, and I think we're starting to notice that. Yeah, tacticals should be able to run combat knives, heavy bolt pistols, plasma pistols. Yeah, I mean, the plasma pistol combat knife is kind of an example where I think that would be a really cool mix-up. That would be really, really fun to use. I could definitely see me kind of burst damaging players out of the game with it, though. Just boom, plasma pistol, and then combat knife. You know, I don't know. It might not even be that strong. Who knows? But it would be fun to try out. Hey, we do get a test server soon, so maybe that's something they could look into. But yeah, that's true. See, that's the thing, right? If they add in a new weapon, or, you know, they loosen up some class restrictions, as soon as there's something that's a little bit unbalanced, people are going to freak out about it. So I just think it's better At least for now, until the community, or at least, until some of the angrier members of the community can kind of get a grip on themselves. For now, it's better off to be a bit more patient with, adding weapons or loosening class restrictions and stuff like that. But, like, for the most part, if all we're truly missing is, like, the heavy bolt pistol on, like, tactical or bulwark, I don't think it's that big of an issue, considering there is another option there. However, tactical only having one melee weapon when they're the primary weapons expert. Well, I guess they're not the melee weapons expert, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Some of the stuff starts to make sense when you think about it, but yeah, it's like kind of theorizing like how good the bulwark could be with the heavy bolt pistol. That stuff can, that makes me want to see it, right? But yeah, this is a good conversation. At first, I thought I was like, oh yeah, just give every class every weapon, but that is not that is not going to work out. But yeah, like heavy bolt pistol, combat knife, plasma pistols, those 3 weapons specifically seem to be okay to kind of give to other classes for now. I think that makes sense. But yeah, like when they add in a new heavy weapon, it's going to be super good. And to give like a heavy weapon to like tactical just for the sake of it could break the game. I could see that. I don't know. This was interesting. Definitely like to look into this. Let me know in the comments how you feel about class restrictions at the moment. But yeah, I just don't think it's as easy as a task as we're kind of, as we're saying. But either way, I did like the game theory on what happens if the tactical has a combat knife, or assault coming down to, break to break the ground with a little dinky knife. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, yeah, that's it for this conversation. I'm gonna keep an eye, we're all gonna keep an eye on updates to see if they ever announce anything about class restrictions, but for now, I'm pretty satisfied with it.